Hi everybody, this is Lenny. I'm a new YouTuber here, but before the day I used to translate some of the English Passive Exile content to my community. I'm a hardcore fan of Passive Exile. I used to play this game since like 2.0, 2.1 each time. So I'm quite a play this game for years, but I barely post any videos on YouTube. So moving forward, I want to create some of the content, maybe some of the build ideas or this kind of the tips and minmax suggestions for certain build. Hopefully it can help some of you, and just to please subscribe if you like this channel. Let's move into today's topic, Forst Blaze Trickster. So this is a build I play this league. I know some of the YouTubers already post a very good content, very detailed. I believe some of you already following some of the build guide. It's very detailed. But why I'm making this video? Because when I min-max, I find out some of the tips or tricks, some of the people we maybe just missing, and it just waste your time, waste your currency to try some of the ideas, so you don't have to. I already did it. So today I give you some of ideas that I know I want to share with you, maybe can help you with a certain build min-max. So first thing first, let's talk about claw. Of course, like most of the melee build, our weapon is so important to boost our DPS. But I want to say here is that the multi-mod crafted claw is good enough to clear almost all the content. So here's an example of the claw I use. I make this by myself, purchased fractured attack speed base, and spam with the cold damage essence. You can easily achieve something like this within, in total, about 4 to 5 divine. Generally speaking, this kind of claw can carry you all through the whole game and take down all the content. So with this claw is, you can see the percentage physical damage roll is very low, and it's about 610 around this kind of DPS. But if you really search on the market, a top-end claw with more than 720 plus more than that DPS is taking you about 40 to 50 divine. It's completely overkill. Of course, that's good. In the end game, any DPS increase is very good, but it's not that necessary. Just to spend that money wisely on something else. And second thing I want to say, just to keep an eye on the market. You can always find a very cheap claw all the time. Let's say in the very beginning of the league, I buy a 550 DPS combined DPS claw within only 30 kiles. I know it's not gonna happen all the time, but if you just watch it out, you can easily find 1 or 2 divine claws with nearly 600 DPS claw out there. So just the active, just go for active search, and you can definitely find something good. So the next thing here I want to say is about the Melee Fortified Tattoo. Some of the also post this kind of the content because before this league, one of very important defense layer of this build is to get the Syrian exact. I remember Syrian exact or word it. I don't know. It's a Melee Fortified by chance. It will significantly increase our general defense within this league because we have the new tattoo to directly apply on a big strength node. You can get the Melee Fortified all the time, so which technically, theoretically, will just free up our chest choices. But I want to say here first, this kind of the chest. This is the chest I use. I just crafted it by myself. It's very easy. It's still too good to drop because first you can buy a fractured spell suppression chest. That's very important to cap our spell suppression. And the second thing is that even that we don't need to roll the Melee Fortify, the hatred aura effect and the grace aura effect still very strong. For instance, 25% of the here, just like my chest, 25% of the hatred aura effect will provide me around 6 to 7% of the total damage increase. That's a lot in the end game. It's cheap to craft. The aura effect is very good, no matter hatred or grace. If you lack some of the evasion, just to go for the grace, it's still very good. The unique chest is not that powerful as some of the people think. It's, of course, there's some good choices, but not that powerful. Just let's check this one. If you really go for, if you really go to check some of the content like what we did here, you can get a quick check of all the unique chests here. Yeah, just like in another video that I believe it is a Captain Lancer posted. So this chest is good, is a lot of evasion, but still not that much as a rare chest. About 1,500 is not, this is not that much, and then they provide some of the movement speed is good. And also some people say that the Queen of the Forest is good. Of course, life, resistance, and also movement speed. But you see that it lacks some of the layer. It's only provide life resistance. You can get this anywhere. The only thing you benefit is movement speed. If you want to go the fast mapping, yeah, go for it. But generally speaking, it's still not good enough to beat the Serene and the Eater Implict chest. And actually, this thing is I want to emphasize. Actually, this is really, really good. I think this is the only thing I may go for if I want to change to a unique chest. Especially the beast here can provide intimidate aura, and that you may say it's very easy to get that intimidate hit by chance through the Little Pride jewel. But think about it another way. If you do this, you can easily drop that on Little Pride and get a very, very good Little Pride in much lower price. Right now, if you check for a Little Pride with Intimidate by chance and crit multi, double damage, something like that, it will cost 8 to 10 divines. But if you drop Intimidate, the price will drop significantly. 2 to 3 divine, you can get a very good Little Pride jewel. So this is an option, and besides that, it had a huge amount of the evasion, life, and also projectile, crit chance. Everything is good for us, especially plus the accuracy. Actually, this build accuracy is quite narrow. I fixed it due to the close range that master, but this accuracy can generally free our ring, one of the ring slot. You can definitely go for a better one. So this unique chest is something I definitely think is good to go for. Otherwise, other unique chests, I really don't think that it's really worth to compete this one, just like what the one I have. And also the last thing some people may think about, okay, if unique price is not good, how about the influenced mod like explosion, like additional curse, like attack crate? I test all of them. Honestly saying, it's still not that worse. First thing first, our build already have a very, very good clear speed. I will go for the explosion later. So I just to quickly go through this one. It's not that significant difference about explosion. So besides that, curse, we apply Assassin's Mark for crate. Of course, we cannot go to marks, so Portrait's Mark is say goodbye. And also we go for the revert, 25 chance revert of the elemental resistant master to deal with elemental resistance. So in this case, frostbite and elemental weakness is not that helpful. So only curse left is punishment. And the punishment, the problem, I tried that. The problem is for this build, there are already too many prepare buttons before the big fight. You have to drop 2 totems, you have to force the blink to left the bone chill ground, and sometimes you have to drop the forced bomb. All this preparation is too much. You really don't want to push one more button. And also, this build have too high damage. It's 50% low life damage bonus is not that significant in most of the scenario. So that's a big question mark. And last thing is about attack crate. So base attack crate is good with all the non-element effect. The brittle ground just can help us easily cap our crate chance. So that is also not that necessary. And one more thing, I didn't list it here, is mana. We can go for the minus mana on the chest, but that's still not necessary because we have tons of the gain mana and leech of the mana. Mana is not a problem for us. So once again, auto mode is not that good. You can definitely try, but my try is that it's not that worse. Okay, so let's go for the next point. Is about Anoint. Panopticon is still the best to go. Is give a huge amount of the effect of the ancestor totems buff. It will provide around 3 million increased damage with this only one node, so it's really hard to beat. If you really don't like to drop totem all the time, or you forget to drop totem all the time, another very big damage boost for all the code build is Snowforge. This is very good, very good. So you can definitely go for this one if you really want to. And the last one I want to emphasize is here. So Frenzy Charge is very good, and 5 gain and the extra damage per Frenzy Charge. This is also can provide about 2 million damage with a single one node. You can definitely go for this one as well. And the last thing I want to say is this is piercing. Many people may say that, okay, you already have the implicit on the glove to have one more pierce. Why you just suggestion to anoint this one? So actually, if you're farming the endgame mapping, the density of the mob is super crowded. For instance, some of the when you're farming the bridge, when you're farming the delirium, there's a lot of monsters. One pierce sometimes cannot really clean the screen. So with one tap to clear the screen will really help you with the survivability and also the clear speed. If you have problem about clearing the map, or if you want to have a better clear speed, and most important, you have enough damage, you don't need to go to those nodes to get extra damage. Just to try this one, maybe you will have you will surprised how good it is. So pierce 3 target in total. And just to try this one if you're really interested in, and it is not that expensive, just black, opal and silver, just to try how it works. It's about the Nimis. It's a question that a lot of people asking or trying or wondering is about whether Nimis ring is really good to go, because Vengeance Cascade already gone. So here's my saying is that no, it's not worth to go. It's 10 divine, the opportunity cost is very high. You can definitely go for some of the rings like this with 1 or 2 divines. Is a huge damage boost. Just to go for the Herald of Ice ring. Now once again, the Nimis, including Vengeance Cascade, even before this league, when Vengeance Cascade is still there, actually there's not that much people of the Trickster Forst Blade really using that node. Including Nimis. The reason is very simple. Nimis, this kind of the projectile return back to you, can only be consistent if you have high projectile speed. Generally speaking, for first place, some of the people already tested is around 130 to 40 increased projectile speed to ensure that the projectile can come back consistently. And for this build, we are Trickster. Once again, it's really narrow of our passive skill. It's really passive 60 build, because we need those master node to ensure that we can take most of the benefit of the polymath. So we really don't have that much node to go down here and grab, to grab all those projectile nodes, projectile speed node, and also the more projectile speed node. So, as a conclusion, Nimis and the projectile return to you, of course, never talk about the new support gem is not worth. So, all of this is not worth. You don't need to try the biosave, I already tested. If you really want to play this archetype or play this kind of mechanism, just to go for Raider. Because for Raider, you have much more freedom of the tree choice. You can directly go down here and just allocate some of the node there, and you can get all those projectile speed very easy. In that way, it will be way more consistent. So next is about explosion. Explosion is something when you get reach to the end game, you really do some juicy mapping. This is something will jump into your head immediately, just like what I do, because Come on, everybody like to blast the whole screen with one tap. But unfortunately, I already tried this for you. All the explosion on this build is not that necessary. You can tell the difference, but not much. Really not much. I even tried the Oriath end and explosion chest together. But once again, there's a difference, but not that much. It's simply because the first blade is already very good map clearing build. It can already one tap almost the whole screen without all those explosions support. So add that definitely will make the feelings a little bit better, but considering the opportunity cost is really not that worth. Oria's end it costs about 11 to 12 divine right now. The explosion chest is once again, if you go for a low end one only with explosion chest with let's say attack rate something like that, you will lost spell suppression, you will lost the two Serene Exact and Word Eater Implict. But if you go to the high end one with spell suppression, with high life, with high rest, even the chaos rest, just think about how expensive it is. 20 divine or 30 divine, something like that. Is that really worth? So once again, I highly don't recommend people to go there. If you really want to go to the explosion experience, I just simply suggest that you pick up another build. Go for the RF Elementalist, go for the Arcus, the Triple Herald, Blade Vortex. That will make your dream come true. The whole screen one tap is way more better than just waste your currency on this build, because the clearance speed is already very good on this build. You don't need to do that. Okay, that is the most content of this video, and I just want to share some of the quick find out and the tests that I did. If you are min-maxing the first blade build, then maybe help you, and please subscribe if you like the content. I will provide more this kind of related things moving forward. New YouTuber, don't have slogan, and see you next time.